So, thought of a new bit. Trying to up the entertainment value of the Dune programming that I offer. So we're going to be doing things a little bit different here. Let me explain what I mean. Hagga Basin News. Damn it. Hagga Basin News. Trusted news across the Dune. News across the Dune. Good morning, Arrakis. Let's give a good report today, huh? Here we go. Oh, wait. Ah, dang it. Okay. I just want to make sure we're set for a little while here, because we're going to be out there reporting. This is the news stopper. So, let's go report. Cover some news. Tell you guys what's going on right now. Let's go over to, we're going to go to Anvil Station for a quick report. We're flying right now, up in the air, and the Coriolis storm has just passed, and the situation here in Hagga Basin is that the winds are starting to die down. The deep desert has experienced extreme turmoil, so hopefully there was nobody out there. There, unfortunately, as usual, are reports of individuals being out in that area, unfortunately, during the apex of the Coriolis storm. So, news might come out of that, but as of now, we're just praying for those who were stuck out there, or chose not to leave their homesteads and developments. Sorry, Hagga Basin News. Hagga Basin News. Hagga Basin News. Just trying to find a good landing spot. It's a little bit unclear out here. Okay. Let's do like... Oh yeah, okay. Alright. Good morning, Arrakis. This is Clark Rivergreen with Hagga Basin News. I'm here at Anvil Station, and it is currently... Sorry. I'm having problems. It is current... The Coriolis storm has just passed, is what's happened. And everything is finally starting to die down here in the basin. And we're just... listening to some radio traffic. We're trying to pick up some things on the scanner and see what we can learn as everything comes back to life here in Arrakis, and mainly out in the deep desert where the dunes run forever. So we're going to attempt in the next couple of minutes to try to get a feed out there to you in the deep desert and show you what kind of action has happened, what kind of destruction has happened, if anything is left, if anything is starting to rise again. We're heading out there now. We're going to use the eastern gate. The eastern gate is frequently used by traffic to exit the basin and get to the deep desert. Sky Hagga is equipped with thrusters to get us to situations fast and to the elevations that we need in order to sufficiently provide you with the news coverage happening here in the Hagga Basin. So excuse us here as we pass into the overworld and head into the deep desert. Stay tuned. We're going to see what's happened. All right, here we are. We're in the overworld. We're heading out into the deep desert. The Coriolis storm again has just passed, and we're going to go check the A grid columns for any kind of activity that might be happening in the deep desert at this time. We know we had some trouble with the feed there. We're talking to the control room, and we should have you guys an open feed here coming shortly. Okay. Here we are, huh? And let's just get a good shot here in front of the copter. Okay, we're here in the A column of the deep desert, and we have basically arrived to see what kind of turmoil and what kind of dismay or activity might be going on in the deep desert just after the Coriolis storm here on this Wednesday. So let's get up there in the sky, see what we can find. Down here we have a slaver camp. This camp is known to terrible kinds. All right. Hold up. It's in the deep desert. Ladies and gentlemen, we got turned around there. I'm not sure what happened. Navigation was a little bit off. Stay tuned as we go and take you to the scene, the eye of the storm, where the eye has destroyed everything. What happened? Did I just travel back to... I think I did, the Hogbit. Didn't I go into column A? Sorry, Oh, it did that thing again. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we're having some technical difficulties here in the station, or in the Thopter, moreover, with the navigation system. So we're going to go ahead and get you into the deep desert right now, get that live feed going, pick up everything that we could see. Report to you on the action as soon as we get there. Oh, boy, what a day, huh? News reporting. It's not something for sourpusses. You gotta be on the action when the action happens. It's not your schedule, it's its schedule. Okay. Hi, okay, let me start over. Clark Rivergreen here with HBN News, and we have just reached the deep desert. The Coriolis storm has just passed. Everything should be completely wiped, so we're going to get up in the sky, check out any kind of destruction or new activity that we might be able to find. Okay, so here we go. Winds have calmed down quite a bit. The clarity, visibility has increased. Everything is looking a lot better around these parts. We are in the A column, A1, I believe to be precise, or around there. We are approaching the shipwreck now that is known to have some PvP activity. Conflict and controversy runs hot in these parts, so it's always a good idea to come out here best prepared with something fast and a lot of fuel. Survival in the deep desert is no joke. People who take it for granted end up coming out here and losing everything, so bear in mind some of the dangers that come with traveling in the deep desert. So there's no activity so far Everything seems pretty stagnant. Everything's running very smoothly. Clarity, visibility, high. Winds have calmed. The Coriolis storm does seem to have passed. We are out of the problem zone of that storm. The eye of the storm has since subsided. So let's go ahead and head along the A column here. See if there's any kind of activity that we can report. Nothing as of yet. As you can see, everything is wiped clean. The beautiful dunes, as usual, which is why we are all here on Arrakis to mine some of that spice. Spice harvesting has not begun. There are no outposts so far, so the economy is at a bit of a gridlock, if you will. Until things pick up again, things are going to be rather slow for many establishments and guilds out there. Let's go ahead and increase our speed here as we head over into, the A4 sector. So sector A4 looking pretty wiped as well. Nothing. As expected. This is exactly what we were expecting. This is what was forecast. This is typically what is forecast when the Coriolis storm does approach. So if you are new to Arrakis, bear in mind some of the dangers that come with trying to survive past that shield wall and into the deep desert. Increasing our elevation so we can get a good glide here and proceed along our line, report any kind of activity. We haven't had any worm sign or any kind of audible cues, so to speak, that let us know that there might be any kind of happenings or news, spice explosions, etc. So we're waiting on those. If we hear anything, we're going to approach that scene hastily. So thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned with us here on HBN as we continue to survey the utter cleansing which the Coriolis storm has produced. All right. We're now in Sector A6, and we're going to proceed over to A7, all the way on through A9. Checking the front line of the deep desert from the shield wall. Stay tuned with us. You will be here with us for any developments or any kind of happenings that we might experience. This is Hagga Basin News. For now, stay tuned. We will let you know if there's any activity. Back to you in the studio. Okay, guys, how was that? Whew. Aerial news reporting is no joke. Get any activity on the sectors, we'll go ahead and initiate another report. Yep, nothing so far. I probably shouldn't have overheated it again. As expected, wiped clean. In this case, no news is bad news. We're here for the news. That's what I've decided. We're here for the news. Reports, human interest pieces, special segments, all sorts. Undercover reporting. We're gonna get it done. Bring it to you. Bring Arrakis to you. Shipwrecks are relatively quiet right now, this hour. Keep heading along this way. Eastbound. Current UTC 10:35:45. About to kick over to 10:36. As mentioned, little to no, actually just no activity so far here as we make our way across the A sector, the north end of the A sector in the deep desert. Nothing to report, which is sad news. So that about does it there for, uh-oh. I guess there is no exiting on the east and west sides. That's news to us. Okay. Well, we have checked the A region. We didn't see anything very special. So we're going to go ahead out to the B column just to see any kind of activity that might be occurring out here in the first full PvP area, B sector of the deep desert. Gonna go ahead and hit the scanner, see if there's anything visible below. Nothing in our reaches. We gotta get lower. As you can see, no signs of anything. Checking, we're just doing some pulse scans here. Seeing if we can find any signs of life or wreckage may have occurred from the Coriolis storm. Now entering Sector B8. We are westbound. No signs of anything so far. Yep. A dead sea, if there ever was one. Lots of minerals beneath us. Beautiful sunsets. As always, the spice becomes extremely gorgeous with that hue and tone. There's a wreckage here in this sector. Let's go ahead and pop down there and see if there's anything we can scope out. Again, we're just news. We're not here to get involved. Just here to report on the scene. This is a fairly recent wreckage. This could be caused by the Coriolis storm. Checking it out, there's no worm sign or activity as of yet. No other individuals in the region or organizations. And this is over in a dune in the B region. Exactly, precisely around B7. Central, and this wreck has occurred. There's no worm sign yet. Anything might pick it up. A worm is probably on its way. In fact, I can hear some activity as we are reporting. So we're gonna go ahead and lift our elevation, move on, see if there's anything else to report. Hopefully there are survivors, and rescue might be on the way. Quite a gorgeous night. Everything is now very calm, much more clear. The spice is very visible in the night air as the storm has passed, and we are now coming back to a normal week here in the deep desert of Arrakis. It does seem that we have some signs below us. Perhaps we should go check those out. It could be life, it could be something else. We don't really know. Gotta be careful. This region beneath us is a quicksand area. Those can be very deadly out here in the deep desert. So we don't want to be messing around on areas that feature quicksand. But what we can do... Oh, never mind. We can't do anything. There's nothing we can do. Again, no signs of life, destruction, other than that shipwreck that we can see. Did hear a large boom couple large booms. There is an incident occurring. Let's go check that out. There seems to be something happening in the sky. Either an attack or something very dangerous. Oh, it seems that there's a ship. Yep, there's another ship falling out of the sky. We're not sure what this is from. What has caused this. It seems to be just sort of hovering there. Perhaps some engines are still working. Try to get closer to the scene. Ooh, what a burst. As she comes down. Here for the taking. In the middle of the deep desert. Should probably stay, keep our altitude about us. As we fly over this scene. Look at that smoke pillar as we just sail right over it. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get closer to that scene, folks. See if anything develops of it. There could be survivors down there. NPC survivors. In which case they may get looted by some unknown party. Alright, now we're going to approach the scene here very cautiously. Very quietly, glide on in. And about to make a scene as we kick up some noise and dust. But let's just get a closer look at what's happened here. So this wreckage is extremely fresh. It looks fairly intact for the most part. There are some elements inside which might be salvageable to folks who are salvaging this kind of equipment, but if I could just request that a rescue operation and survey be performed, that would be phenomenal. That's a hard no. I got a hard no. Okay, so let's keep heading out here and seeing if there's any kind of developments that we can find in the B column. Here, B6, approaching B5 and heading back all the way to B1. I'm going to run some scans below. See if there's anything of note. We do have some flower sand, which has come up on the scanner, letting us know that everything is working okay. And we're heading west now, as we have entered B5. Above B5 here we have our first rock formation. Very popular spot to hide from the sandstorms, which can be very thrashing in the deep desert. Far more dangerous than the typical sandstorms which we see normally throughout the basin. But again, what draws people to the deep desert? What draws harvesters? What draws spice miners? Well, that's it. The spice, the money, the salvage. There are so many things that have been lost out here which people wish to reclaim that nothing can stop them from finding their way. Entering sector B4, heading along, nothing relevant along the scans as we continue along our path. We're now westbound as we're doing a zigzag across the deep desert. As long as the fuel will let us, anyway. More flower sand. Quite the area. Very profitable for any of those who might be looking to create a lot of silicone blocks. A ton of silicone blocks. Like a shit ton. You can use those. Still nothing relevant on the scanner. Let's go ahead and almost at this point raise our elevation. Our speed is good, so we're going to continue heading westbound. We do have some notable marks down there, and again, we're over a region of quicksand. There seems to be a lot of things lost down there in the quicksand. How to get to them, your guess is as good as mine. Entering Sector C3, still no activity. Unfortunately, as expected, it is the fresh beginning from the passing of the Coriolis storm, so there's not going to be much activity out here, as should be expected every Wednesday. Some resources below. Those look a little bit odd. Let's go ahead and, as we're here on the border of Sector C2 and C3, let's go ahead and drop down and check out what we have spotted. Looks to be a lot of salvage, scrap, some fuel cells, things of that sort. So there's a lot of leftover materials out here that people can pick up, salvagers or miners can pick up in order to help them survive in the harsh climates and weather of the deep desert. So let's go ahead and continue heading westbound here along C2. So as you can see, we've kind of gone up into the C sector from the B sector, heading straight west. So we're going to go ahead and head our bearing so that we head back into the B sector nice and slowly, while we continue scanning for any kind of relevant activity below. Again, no signs of life. Everything is dead. These are the unfortunate times every week that we experience at the end of the Coriolis storm. And what an interesting week, as we had an unpredictable weather event where not just one apex of the Coriolis storm approached us, but two. Surviving two apexes of the Coriolis storm can be quite rare. It's a very rare sight indeed. Pardon me while I just sneezed there. I do apologize for that. Okay. Back into B2. We've entered B1, actually. So this is about the end of our preliminary scan of the deep desert, just after a Coriolis storm has wiped everything clean from the area. Always a sad sight. Not a happy time for many. But we'll survive nonetheless and continue to build. This is Hagga News. Sky Hagga. Back to you in the station. Alright, let's get out of here. Wait, what was that? Quicksand. Again, it's always on quicksand. I don't like quicksand. I got problems with quicksand. Okay, so that was the AM Hagga Basin news report. We're going to head back to the... Whoops. That's all for us today, folks, here with Hagga Basin News. This is Sky Hagga. We're going to head back to the airport and continue to report on things as news progresses. So, what's going on? Thank you for joining us. What the heck? And hopefully you get your resources back together for a good build this week. as we enter Sector A1 and head back into the Hagga Basin. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us today. This is Hagga Basin News. This is Hagga, Sky Hagga, back.